I'm pretty sure a lot of men have dealt with jealousy when it comes to relationships or it comes to situationships or something. It's fine to be jealous. It's fine to be insecure about things, so long as you actually hold yourself accountable and you definitely have restraint to how you express your jealousy and your insecurity. You know, you never want to try to be disingenuous and try to play shit off and be like nonchalant and be like, yeah, it doesn't bother me and shit, because we're in this climate now where everyone wants to be unbothered, and no one wants to actually like show that something actually bothers them and shit. And no one's gonna know unless you actually really put it out there. But yeah, just wanted to throw that out there, because there's this notion that basically showcasing emotion or showcasing transparency when it comes to you know jealousy in a relationship or even a situationship or something leading to a relationship, or insecurity when it comes to something like that in that regard or whatever, it is bad or whatever, and it's not. You know what I'm saying? You just got to basically know how to handle the shit. Women going to public venues, aka clubs, or just like a jazz joint. It doesn't have to necessarily be a jazz joint, but like a public venue, just to say that, just so it can be that inclusivity and shit, because not everything has to be necessarily a club. But going out somewhere, having drinks, partying, hanging with friends, this bothers some men. It's never happened to me as far as I know, so I wouldn't know how I would really truthfully, like, inherently respond to this shit. But I'm just telling you right now, I'm not going to be disingenuous. I'm going to be very transparent with this. Let's say, hypothetically, I was in a relationship, and my girlfriend went out to the club with their friends, and she told me, because that's important. That conversation is always important. I feel like it won't happen. Like, those conversations won't happen if you have an overly jealous kind of guy, or if you just have like a hard body, like toxic girl or some shit that just doesn't want to tell you shit. So would it bother me? Yeah, it would bother me if my girlfriend went out. That definitely needs context, because like at surface level, it just sounds like I'm like some average nigga, which I'm not necessarily. Yeah, it would bother me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not for the typical reasons necessarily. It's more so because of men. It would bother me to know that my girlfriend went out to the club, because like I'm all for her having fun, so long as you're being responsible. That's cool. My girlfriend could be at a club and a guy could just buy her drinks, or buy her a drink, singular or whatever, and she could think nothing of it. She could just accept it and shit. This nigga could like end up throwing some drug in that fucking drink. He could do it to all of her fucking girlfriends too, and shit like that. It's just shit like that concerns me. It's just, I'm like, yeah, you have to be extra cautious, and that fucking sucks. That's kind of why I don't like clubs. The fact that women have to kind of like have this, have to be overly cautious in a club where you're actually going to escape, that's kind of fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of fucked up that you going into that space to go dance or party your troubles or whatever the fuck you're trying to do. You're just trying to like have a good time, whatever. And then like you gotta sit up there and be like, yeah, I gotta be responsible because some nigga might try to me tonight, or some nigga might like, try to kill me tonight or some shit, because I might not be giving up no rhythm, aka you might not be giving up no pussy, you might not be giving up like any vibes and shit, like like, oh, I like you, it's mutual type shit. Like niggas are really like sensitive and they try to act like they not, but niggas is that sensitive and shit. So it's just it mainly concerns me, and it makes me like a little insecure, because like I'm worried about the safety. That's the biggest fucking thing to me, because I'm really big on women's safety, not even just like relative to someone that I will be someone that I'm in a relationship with, or someone that I'm gearing towards being in a relationship with. I'm just like really big on safety when it comes to women. That's why, like, when I'm around women, not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I'm not gonna sit up here and say, oh, I'm always like on top of shit, but like sometimes when I'm around women, I'll be like, yeah, I don't think you should go talk to that nigga, or like you shouldn't be hanging out with this nigga and shit. Not to say I'm trying to control niggas. I got anxiety, so y'all niggas won't hear me making explanations for every fucking thing. But I'll just be like, yeah, tread lightly. Put it like that. Because shit is scary, especially this online dating climate, but that's, we're venturing off. Some men will basically be insecure about their woman or someone that they've taken a liking to going out clubbing because they think she's going to cheat. And maybe she won't necessarily be coherent if she cheats. Maybe she'll be drunk and then she'll cheat. But basically, they think she'll cheat. And if she's not, like, in a relationship with you, they think she'll just kind of, like, step out on you, even though technically it won't necessarily be stepping out, but, like, she'll basically, like, go find some other guy and not necessarily run off with him, but she'll give this nigga some pussy, she'll suck his dick, she'll kiss him or some shit like that. There's guys that think about that shit, which is valid. I understand it. I'm not going to say, like, that's always the case. I'm not going to say that, that happens to every guy or some shit like that. Because I don't know, but it's just, I understand that concern, but that's the least of my worries, honestly. It is a little worry. I'm not going to sit up here and, like, lie and shit just for the sake of being, like, I guess, nonchalant or self-righteous or some shit. You just got to trust her, basically. And I know that sounds really cliche, I think, or, like, stupid, but, yeah. So that's the least of my worry. It's mainly the safety situation. I'm not the type of guy that's going to be sitting up here like, oh my God, what if she finds some dude that's going to kiss her and all this kind of shit? Like, if you got a girl who's been solid with you, you ain't really got shit to worry about. But if you got a girl who kind of like tap dances around shit, doesn't really take much accountability, you probably got something to worry about. So just pay attention, basically. Just pay attention to the toxicity and all of that type of shit. And then you'll know what you have in store, basically, or what you may have in store. Sometimes, though, shit doesn't actually work out like that. Sometimes people be, like, in very, quote-unquote, good relationships and stuff. Whatever you define by a good relationship, because it's very subjective. Some people be in relationships where it's basically stable, and there seems like there's no issues at all, and then niggas still go cheat. You know what I'm saying? It happens all the time. I'm not the kind of person that would just sit here and be like, yeah, you're not going to the club at all or anything like that, because that just sounds very, like, controlling and shit like that, and I don't like that shit. Like, I don't like niggas like that, and I don't like to carry myself like that. I don't like the fact that women have to do that shit. Like, I don't like the fact that they have to be overly cautious. You should be able to go to the club and not have to really, like, worry very much, because it is a space where you're just basically trying to party and you're trying to have a good time. You shouldn't have to be like, oh, these niggas looking at me funny. I don't know if I want to be here and shit. And then you got to look out for your girls and shit. And then you can't even get as drunk as you want to get drunk or whatever and shit, because you like, yeah, I don't know if niggas is going to try some shit. I prefer to do it with their friends in their company, because it's a safer space. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can do all of that shit and still have fun with them and shit. You can get drunk and you could be watching Netflix. I don't know what the fuck niggas be doing. But it's just like, I just don't want to sound like controlling. I'm not going to say like that's the thing to do necessarily, but it's just like, I don't know. Men are crazy. That's needless to fucking say. I'm not going to try to derail and talk about women necessarily and shit, because, like, honestly, there's nothing to say, basically. What the hell's that? If anyone goes out clubbing and shit, have fun, drink responsibly, or smoke responsibly. I don't know if niggas is going to hookah lounges and shit. Yeah, but just be responsible, be careful, because niggas is trash. And you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, just have fun and shit like that. It's just like, do what's best for you type shit. Like, do what's best for you. If you feel like, you know what, I'm not going to the club tonight, I'm going to go hang out with my girls in their house, or I'm going to my friend's house and then we going to get shit-faced, or we going to get a little tipsy. If that's what you prefer, that's fine and shit. Just don't do some shit. This is a good point. Don't do shit specifically for the validation of men, though. Like, don't be like, yeah, I'm going to my friend's house because my man wouldn't want me clubbing and shit. Like, you are your own autonomous person. You can do what the fuck you want, so long as you you're coherent. Tell your girls and shit like that, you know, hey, yo, I'm not gonna be the one that's gonna be sipping that much and shit because I don't like the way niggas is looking in here. I don't like the energy. I don't like the vibe. We having fun, but niggas is like looking at us a certain way and they look like they gonna do some sly shit. But honestly, if you feel uneasy in the club, in a particular club, you just go to another club. That's what I would encourage you to do. Cause I've heard about shit where women died like literally after like leaving the club and shit. Just be safe, man. Just be fucking safe, man. I'm scared.